Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Speaking the Truth About Money with Martin Coward and Joy the Wise Woman. I am both Martin Coward and Joy the Wise Woman. Martin Coward is my family name, my human name, and Joy the Wise Woman is the name that I have chosen to give my spirit. It's my spiritual name and my divine intuition, if you will. And I'm so excited today to be here solo. I typically have guests on my podcast, but today I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about three things that I found that can make a big difference in your workday. It can make your workday more things you can do to make your workday more creative, more productive, and certainly more fun. And it all has to do with connection, human connection with ourselves, that our own self, our authentic self, our God self, if you want to call it that, spiritual self, our higher consciousness. We want to plug into that energy because that's the source of all of our power. So when we get disconnected from that source, we feel powerless and we start looking into the external world for things to solve our problems. And you can't solve our problems out in the external world. All of our problems start with the inside. And if we can quiet the storm inside, the storm outside will automatically go down because everything starts from the inside out. So the first thing I want to suggest is establish a good relationship with connecting with yourself. Really get to know yourself and slow down. We're already moving at speed that's faster than the sound of light. We just aren't aware of it because we're insulated on this wonderful planet. But we're evolving at a pretty fast rate. And now that we've gone through the pandemic and because of communication, evolution is happening at an even faster a rate than, I don't think it's happening any faster, but we're aware of it. We're aware of, because we can see all the changes that have happened in the last few years since the pandemic. We have all moved collectively to a higher level of consciousness. Not all of us, but many of us have. And so that's what I'm talking about here is if we can slow down and connect to that higher level of consciousness, to our consciousness, to consciousness itself, and begin to cultivate and nurture that relationship so that we can have these direct, intentional communications between Martin and Joy the Wise Woman. We feel empowered, and now we have the guidance we need to go about our day. We're not coming from the fear in our heads of not being good enough, and we got to do this, we got to do that, having all these tasks that we have to do. We're coming from a deeper place within ourselves of unconditional love energy that changes the world. So getting into heart space within ourselves is the first thing. Just simply slow down. We all have a tendency to want to focus on the outcome, to focus on the achievement, to focus on the milestone, to focus on the goal. If that's something that's going to happen in the future. But if we can slow down and get present with what's now, we'll have the power we need, and it makes life so much easier. Because we don't really have to think too much about it. Because divine intelligence, that infinite intelligence that Napoleon Hill talked about in his famous book, Think and Grow Rich, is exactly what we're talking about here. We're talking about slowing down and intentionally, through meditation, maybe through a walk in the woods, whatever it is you need to do to slow down and get out of the ego thinking mind and into the love of your heart and connect. The heart is much more than just an organ pumping oxygen and blood through the system. It's kind of like a beacon. It's almost like an antenna, if you will, that is connecting the human to universal consciousness, which is way beyond the understanding of the human mind. But we know it when we're there because we'll feel a deep sense of peace. We'll be able to sit in any kind of storm, no matter what's going on in the outside world. We'll be able to sit in that storm seated in the soul of God in peace. So it's important. That's why people call it a power hour. I mean, they're big. All of the big, like Tony Robbins, every single coach out there is talking about having a power hour. It's about having that connection to ourselves, where our superpowers lie. Without that life, which everybody has, by the way, it's just a matter of being aware of it. And and that life force is within you and within me. It is yearning to come out. It is. And if you don't pay attention to it, things will show up that makes you uncomfortable because you're in conflict. You're telling no to the universe, that your universal creator. No, I got other things to do right now. I don't have time for you. What? You don't have time for the creator that created you? How can you say that? Well, because that's the human mind. The human mind does not understand this deeper source of power. It can experience it, and we learn from it, which is beautiful. And the human mind is a wonderful servant, but it doesn't know how to create. It doesn't know how to create a vision. It just simply knows how to remember what it's been taught, what it's learned, and does a very good job of that. So the first thing, if you want to power up your day, if you want to get 10 times more production, if you want to get 10 times more creative, and you want to have a whole lot more fun, effortless effort. I don't work very hard anymore. I work 24. I create. I told someone one time, I said, I don't work that hard. I don't work at all. I'm 68 years old, turned 68 last Friday. And I have retired from working so that I can spend 100% of my time, 24/7, creating a world of abundance and prosperity, living into my mission, living into my soul's purpose. Because I know when I am in alignment with that, I've got the universe has got my back. We're in alignment. I feel in flow. I feel creative. I feel creative, and I feel happy. I'm enjoying my day. I'm not in conflict. I'm in alignment. That's what alignment means. It means that we've aligned our body and our mind with the creative force of the universe. So you slow down and align yourself with the creative power of the universe within every single one of us. We've all gone out there and gotten caught up in the confusion of our minds that this is going to happen. And we have this whole little scenario. Well, if this happens, if this doesn't happen, if this happens, and then this happens, let me tell you something. Nothing in the universe happens that way. There's no cause and effect that's happening the way our mind. If I don't get on that call and make this thing happen, I'm not going to make any money this month. That is not true. That's a belief that you've made up. Okay. What's better is to sit down and say, what do I need to do today to live my mission? How do I connect with that divine part of myself? How do I connect with the life force within me to live my life of purpose and meaning? And then I'm going to be happier. I'm going to be more. You're going to have that power of the universe that created everything you see in the whole universe, including other galaxies, because we're tapped into that universal consciousness that's holding everything in the universe, in that space, way beyond the understanding of the human mind. We're so much bigger. We're so much more powerful when we get into that field that's beyond the human mind, into that higher field of unconditional love energy, that higher field of consciousness, which is the essence of what we are. Eckhart, one of my favorite meditations, and I highly recommend it to anyone. I will stop sometimes when I'm having a day of struggle and can't quite get together. I'll stop and I'll slow down and I'll go listen to this I am loving awareness meditation by Ram Dass. It is absolutely phenomenal. It's about 10 minutes long. So if you want a practical, what can I do when I'm running, struggling, trying to make everything happen and nothing seems to be working my way? Slow down, and align yourself with the creative power of the universe by listening to some meditations, taking a sound bath. And I'll tell you that you can go to almost any place and find on Spotify the I Am Loving Awareness meditation by Ram Dass. It is the most direct, concise way for me to stop everything I'm doing, slow down, get out of my head and into my heart, and realize just how enormous and infinite love is. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is to connect with people who share your values. We're very lucky today in the fact that we have got, with technology, we can, and I have, and you have, meet people from all over the world. I am now working with queer Africans. My business partner, Alba Henry, is a Ugandan man. I spend every day on the phone joyfully with people all over the world that I'm engaged with business and friendship and socializing with. That brings my vibration up, that brings me up into a higher vibration of love energy. If I sit at home and I eat lunch alone and I isolate, I find myself getting all up in my head and I get disconnected from the world. Because we human beings are wired. We are wired for connection, which is why in the prison systems, the worst thing that a prisoner can be given today, I mean, maybe they're in there for life, so they're going to be living there for the rest of their lives, and they figure out how to make that life work. But the one thing that the system knows, if you want to keep people in check, is to threaten them with solitary confinement. It is the hardest, most emotionally difficult place for any human being to try to get through, and that is to be completely isolated from any other contact with human beings. That's the extreme. But if it's that bad on the extreme, think how good it can be on the other side. But all you have to do is find somebody interesting on the internet that shares your values, that it is full of people and we're creating a new community that you can do exactly that. Find people who also share your values for the love of the future of our planet. Things like that, things that share your values, people who share your values in other countries and other lands. And invite them to sit down and have a cup of coffee with you on a Zoom call. I do it all the time. That's how I meet people. I connect with people. And that's how I get clients. That's how I get people on my podcast. I go out on the internet. I go out to LinkedIn. I go out to Facebook, well, my team does as well. And I find people that share my values, that I think I can make it, that it would be something valuable if we could get to know each other and we work together and support each other. You know, I don't know what that is until I actually meet them, and we'll have a meeting. We'll have a 10 or 15, 20-minute coffee talk and just get to know each other. And I will tell you, if I just sit back and I don't have any intention to try to sell them anything or get them to do anything other than just build a relationship, magic begins to happen, because we're wired for that human connection. We are already connected, by the way. There's only one soul. There's only one heartbeat. There's only one consciousness. We're all connected in that consciousness. And when we physically connect my body, my human experience with your human experience, magic happens. And we're finding that in our program using what's called the OPP. You've heard me talk about that before. The Omega Point program was a program that was designed by Bill Wick during COVID to teach people how to come into relationship, how to connect with themselves, how to connect with each other. In a hope, he's a free gift. It's free. Anybody can, and we use it in the LGBTQ heart space community as a way to build this foundation of relationship and community. But it's a wonderful way. Anybody can do it. Just simply go out there and go to the omegapointprogram.com and download the files and find a partner and find them online and go through the process together. We're doing it inside our Facebook communities and inside of our LGBT community. You can do it too. It's free. You don't have to come to us to get it. We're using it as a gift. Bill Wick would be delighted if you were using it to create connection. It's just genius. And you don't have to really do much thinking about it. You can let the process do its own thing. So the second way to increase your productivity, increase creativity, and have more fun is to connect with people. We have a fear that people aren't going to like us, but I have found that, just by being authentic and being real with people, people want to connect. People want to get to know you if you're doing it if you don't have any kind of, agenda. The problem is most of us start with an agenda. I want to connect with you because I want you to do something, and that doesn't work. Just connect with people for the sake of connection. Give yourself permission to connect with people that share your values and invite them for a conversation. Just for that, for no other reason other than just to get to know and like each other, so you can find a way to support each other here in the virtual world. We all have this vision of fact that we're going to go back to something after COVID. We're not going back to anything. But what we can do is we can think about what is the energy that we're missing. We're missing in our workplace, in our workday, by sitting at home now, being on a computer all day long. Well, we're missing the human connection. We're missing the relationships. So what do we need to do? We need to become proactive in just cultivating relationships with other people around the world. And with today's technology, it's not all that hard. It's just not hard. It's easy and it's fun. I have met hundreds, now probably up in the thousands of people from all over the world since COVID that I probably never would have met had I not been forced to slow down and by my human nature to want to connect with people. I have been in connection with people through advanced technology, and it's going to get more and more and more advanced as time moves on. We're going to move into the space where we actually can. If you look at some of the projections of future artificial intelligence, et cetera, which is also part of the creative force, we're going to be able to actually have holograms and all kinds of ways to connect with people that are going to allow us to have an even deeper and more spiritual connection with people than we have right now. We're just learning. We just got on our training wheels. So put on your training wheels and go out in the world and go on the internet. That's what, use social media and find some people that you like. You'll find them, and without any agenda at all, just reach out and see if you can get to know them and connect with them. Have some coffee with them. You're going to be amazed at what you're going to find. I have friends now, acquaintances, business friends, friends all over the world now, people who work with me that I never would have imagined, all over the world. And it's so fun. So that's another way. And I'm not sitting here in isolation in sort of a negative mindset. I'm sitting here in a sense of joy and peace and excitement about how wonderful the world is and how many wonderful people there are on there. And I don't watch the news. I'm going to just tell you something. Until somebody gets smart enough to change the news from being a fear-driven money machine, because it capitalized all the big networks, all of them. I don't care whether you're a liberal like me and watch MSNBC or you're a conservative that watches Fox News. It's all driven by fear. I don't care who you are, but I would love to see someone like it's got some political pull to change the format of the news media. Something that would be like turning every single newscast into a think tank. Just imagine that if Rachel Maddow came out every day and she spent 20% of the time talking about a problem, and then she had a panel of experts to spend 80% of the time talking about the solution, and ended the podcast with everybody in the world who tuned in looking for the solution, instead of sitting in all the fear and joining up on whose side, who's right and who's wrong, we could probably solve a lot of the world's problems a lot faster than we are right now. Because right now, all of the news medias are having us to pick sides. I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm a good person, I'm a bad person. And you're not either one. You're not good or bad. It's just what you happen to like. But I promise you, if we could shift the way that the news is being broadcast to us and being sent to us in our living rooms every night, which I quit watching because I don't want to hear all that fear. I don't want it to bring my vibration down into that lower range. I want to stay in a vibrational range of love and prosperity and genius. I want to stay in my genius zone. And the news will bring me down. And all of a sudden I find myself, those lousy people, blah, 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 blah. It's just my story. So make real human connections with people that you meet on the internet and spend some time getting to know each other. A stranger, meet one new person every week. You'll be amazed at what you're going to find, because that's higher consciousness. That's love beginning to mold and move us into a higher level of consciousness across the globe. The third thing I want to talk about is that we have learned in financial heart space that is just absolutely a game changer. And that is organizing and scheduling daily co-working sessions with my team. I start every single day. My team is in Africa. So I start every single morning with my team in Africa at 6:30. And we work from about 6:30 a.m. Eastern time till about 9 o'clock Eastern time every single day. And it is the most productive, most creative, and the most fun part of my day, because now I'm all set. Everybody's all set to produce and to create and to make a difference. We're all on the same page to living the mission of Financial Heart Space, which is to create a world of abundance and prosperity. So by getting together, we don't have any fear that I don't have a fear like I used to have when I hired people. Well, are they doing what I want them to do? Am I paying them to get what I want? And then they're on the other side having a fear. Am I doing what Martin wants me to do? Am I living up to expectations? That's just the fear of the unknown. So how do you get rid of the fear of the unknown? You get together and you work together. And I have people say, "Oh, I don't have time to spend 2 hours with my staff." I don't think you have time not to. If you want more time in your personal life, if you want more time for your family, spend more time with your work team. Literally, spend more time with your work team. I just spent the last 2 days, almost up until the middle of the night, working on our registration page for our new program, which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute, with Abba Henry, my business partner. Figuring out how to do a lead page, how to do a sales page, how to do a registration page, which is beautiful, attractive. And I got to tell you, being on the phone with him, being on Zoom with him, working out and solving the problems, making decisions on what color, what picture, what was going to go. We created, I think, what I believe is the most beautiful sales page, registration page I've ever created. And I'm going to send you the link to that in a while. You can choose for yourself. But it was created out of love. It was created out of working together. And if one of us gets stuck, we even talked about, we'll just send each other a little, if we see one of us struggling, we're trying to figure something out. I might find myself going, "Oh, he's not going to figure this out." I say, "Oh, wait a minute. Yes, he is. He's got that divine intelligence in him that I have. He's got the divine intelligence. He's got consciousness. Just send him some love. And all of a sudden I can see him opening up and we get the thing done." It's magical. Consciousness, infinite love energy, is the most powerful force in the universe. So use it. Use it to build your business. Use it to live your mission. Use it to connect with people. Use it to make your life more exciting. And I will promise you, if you will just try it for 30 days or 21. It takes 21 days to try get anything new. Schedule a 2 hour, even a 1 hour. Schedule a good 2 hours of co-working with your team every single day. We start by getting into heart space. All of my team, including me, I've taught everybody how to lead a meditation into heart space, to get out of our heads and into our heart so we can become more creative. All of that thing I talked about, we don't just immediately start in with, did you get this done? Did you get that done? We slow it down, and we allow ourselves to align with the universe collectively as a team. You hear me? We slow it down and we allow ourselves to get into heart space collectively as a team. And then one of us, everybody takes turns leading us into heart space. And I'm amazed every single day about how they are how the Africans are evolving and really talk from their heart and bring us all into heart space. And then we all check in with our name, our spiritual name, our mission, and an aha for the day. And now we're all aligned collectively as a team to go about our workday. And we're more productive, we're more creative, and we're having a lot more fun. And we have a lot more time left over at the end of the day because we were so much more creative. We didn't have to think about it. When we're thinking in fear if I get everything done, we know what we're doing because we're doing it together. For a part of the day, we don't spend the entire day together, but we spend enough time in the morning to align ourselves with the universe and to align ourselves with love consciousness, to know exactly, to get that intuitive part of us, that connection going so strongly that we're able to make a big difference in the day. And that's how we're building this mission. So those are the three things. Slow down and align yourself with the creative power of the universe. The second one is connect with people all over the universe using Zoom and social media outlets. And you can also do it physically. You could go meet someone for lunch. But you know what? The beauty is with the internet today, you can meet with people in Africa and India and England and all over the world, Australia, and get to know them. It's powerful. And three, start working with your team. Schedule those co-working sessions. You can also schedule co-working sessions with other people around the world who share your value. That's a great way to get 2 and 3 in 1. Is connect with people around the world who share your values, who have a common goal to make the world, to create more love in the world, who have a love and a passion for the future of our planet. Spend 2 hours just with them on Zoom. You doing your thing. I've done that a lot of times with friends that I've met in my coaching program. We share the same values. We want the same things to happen. And we might spend a couple of hours just on Zoom. They're doing doing what they love, that they need to get done that day. I'm doing what I need to get done that day. And it's just a lot more fun because we're doing it together, because we're wired for human connection. And the finally is, it's connection. And then before we close out, I want to let you know about something, and I'm going to drop the link in here. We are launching this week, and there's a wonderful, wonderful interview with Argina Rose, which I'm going to point you to, where she interviews me and Abba about this new global heart space community and coaching program that's coming out today. And I encourage you to go over and watch this amazing interview with Argina Rose, because she does a wonderful job of talking to Alba and I and asking us the questions that anybody wants to know before they want to join this community. So, and we believe this is going to be a game changer in the world. All these is a great ways for all these three things we're talking about. How do we become better at building community and building relationships as the world moves into virtual space? How do we create more opportunities for employment, especially for our LGBTQ brothers and sisters living in Africa, where unemployment is their biggest problem? So there's a great opportunity for you to learn about that and watch this amazing interview with the one and only Argina Rose. She is the one that founded the Divine Spiritual Network, and she interviewed Abba and I a few weeks ago to prepare us and to prepare the world for the launch of this new virtual community and coaching program. So I'm going to give you the link for that. I'll drop it up here. It's too complicated for me to try to read. But if you're listening to this and you want to know, just send me go look at the show notes and you'll see a link right there the show notes in the podcast or in this live broadcast, it will take you right to the interview with Orgina Rhodes, and you can learn all about this wonderful new program and community called the LGBTQ plus meaning our allies. We definitely want to include our allies in this heart space community and coaching program. So join us over there. I see now it's 30 minutes after the hour. I want to thank you so much for listening today and for being here and listening to what we have to say. I hope that these 3 tips are going to be of value to you to help you build and grow your business and have a lot more fun in your day and give you more time to spend with your friends and your family doing other things in your life that you want to do. So until next time, may love and prosperity continue to prevail. Thank you so much for listening.